Hey, what's going on, guys? Jackal here, coming back at you with another deck tech. This is my Oldhim list that I ended up going 10 and 0 with across multiple armories. It was 3 armories total, and the list is super fun. I do expect us to lose Oldhim up in the in the upcoming bans or benches due to just his initial strength with Miller's Grindstone and being able to keep his deck fat while mitigating damage. But we are playing an Earth Oldhim purely. There is no ice in this list, even though Oldhim is an ice champion. A big thing about Oldhim is you can pitch 3 into as a D react, and if it's an Earth card, you can prevent the next 2 damage, and that's really what we're focusing on, as well as Miller's Grindstone, which is when this hits, clash with them. If you win, you get to destroy the top of their deck, and the decks being hard capped at 40, it really lends favor to you to fatigue them either way you want, through the grindstone aspect, through blocking out, or I've even fatigued people just straight through damage by sending 10s and 9s and just them having to give me their whole hand and not really be able to do much back. For the gear suite, I did Blade Beckoner Gauntlets, Blade Beckoner Helm. I think these are the probably best in slot for Oldhim in those regarded areas. There's just a lot of weapons going on. Decimator Axe is very real, and is probably our worst matchup. We play Civic Duty simply because it's a temper 2 chest. It's literally, yeah, it gives them a vigor, but most people can't convert their hands with an extra vigor anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's just a temper 2 chest. Playing Age Old Duty Civic Steps, we've seen these played in CC. Definitely going to see them played in Sage. They crit quicken when you block with them, but it's temper 2, allowing you through extra life. And a lot of the time in this format, they're already going to be opening with Go Again. Other than that, we've got no Rune Robe, because Rune Blades do exist in this format. Kano really wasn't present, especially at my local scene, and hadn't really been found out yet. So no Rune one was pretty acceptable. Still Braid Buckler, because it's a temper 2 buckler. It's literally Goldman's buckler, just not gold. And then for the matchups where you don't want to be sending Millers, but still ripping cards or presenting damage, Titan's Fist. A lot of people put Sledge for the mirror match, and I'm just more tested on Titan's Fist and find myself doing way better and feeling way more comfortable with Titan's Fist. Anyone who knows why Sledge would be the better option into the Guardian matchups would be dope. My cat is being very lovable right now. Hello, Mr. Sir. But then if we get down into the deck, it's 47. Blessing of Serenity, which is an instant that prevents the next 3 damage. Zelia is huge in this format, and you want things that allow you to block without essentially blocking. So especially a thing like Bravo, Azalea, Dominate is huge. So being able to block without blocking is big, and that's essentially what this is as a prevention effect. You're playing Disable Reds because it's a 9 it's a CNC 9 in this format. It's really good. And then Renounced Grandeur is a card you really ideally play if you have a lot of rune chants, or not rune chants, rune blades in your meta, and Briar running around so rampant, and we had a Viscerai in our meta as well. Renounced Grandeur is oftentimes a 3 for 8, and also severely interrupts them from creating their rune chants and pressuring you on their turn. Smeltering of the Old Ones, as well as being a 10 and Heave 2, is really good into the Guardian matchup, because all of your blocks, if you win the clash, you can put a -1 on their armor, and then if you crush with Smelting of the Old Ones, you can destroy pretty much their whole equipment suite with 1 crush, which is pretty sweet. I really enjoy that. You play Staunch Red and Yellow, being able to pitch your blocks into your staunch is really strong. The yellow blocks are just super strong in this format because the staunch response, and you're just able to cover up so much damage. And if you're given any room, you're sending back bigger numbers like 10, aka Thunderquake. Thunderquake being a heave 3/6 that swings for 10. I mean, you're chunking half their life for 2 blues. You run plenty of blues. You're okay with that. Unmovable, basically as a third staunch response red. Just really good to cover up really tall attacks. Dominate, as I said, is a huge thing in this format, and you want to have D-reacts that can cover up large portions of damage. And then we're gonna have all of the clash in 4 blocks. It's arms, chest, head, and legs with a shield. Each of them just read if it's Guardian specific. Clash with the Guardian. Winner puts a -1 counter on opponents. Whatever the card does. If it was legs, you put it on their legs. If it's shield. Lay low is just a really good generic defense reaction. You're not oftentimes marked in this format. If you are, you can definitely switch this out for other things, but you're not oftentimes marked, and then you would just side this out for the matches you are marked. We talked about staunch response yellow. Auto touch blue. It's a literal 3 block blue earth card, and that is why it's in here. It's good for blocking, it's good for pitching to Oldhim, and it can swing for 5. Canopy Shelter, I like this just because you can get the same value out of pitching it to the D-react, but you also have the chance if you need to go for a stronger crush turn, you can set up with the might token. Chokeslam's big because it stops a lot of the briars, and stops just basically a lot of the pump, because they have to put cards in front of this to make sure it does not crush. Otherwise they cannot, pump their turn away. And then we're playing Debilitate, just another good blue, generically for Titan's Fist, to feed Titan's Fist, honestly. It's a 4 for 6, which is kind of above 8, and then it blocks for 3, and then when this deals 4 or more damage, their first attack next turn gets -2. Then we do Disable blues. Obviously, if you're running the reds, you're running the blues. Fertile Ground, just as a, if you're getting poked down a lot with daggers, this is a good instance. Otherwise, you're just usually pitching this for the D-react and getting value out of that. And then Fruits of the Forest, OP card, really good. Basically a sigil in your deck that can still attack, that can still block, and that can still be pitched into Oldhim's effect. Glacial Footsteps, while you might think is an ice card, definitely not an ice card. Can't pitch it to his effect. It is an ice fusion card, not an ice card. So it will never have Dominate in this list. It just swings for 8 as a 6. So swinging for big numbers is generically what I'm going for, and threatening life total, basically. Macho Grande does this very well, being a 7 for 8 Dominate. I've ended plenty of games with Macho Grande. And I think it's just a super solid pick. I still can't believe this card's in rare. And then Sirens of Safe Harbor, just being more of a fatiguey list, this really helps out a lot, especially into the Ira matchups and Vi matchups. And then Thunderquake, again a heave 3 that swings for 8. But yeah, I ended up going 10-0 on this list across 3 armories. Super fun list. I think there's room for ice in the list for sure, but if you're just trying to fatigue, this list keeps your deck fat while you're able to kind of outplay your opponents. And if they give you any room, you just crack back with numbers that are pretty unmanageable for your opponent. Some of the matchups throughout the 3 armories were Lexi, Riptide, KO times 3. Yeah, a lot of KO. A lot of KO being played. I almost lost to two of them. KO is a very strong deck in this format. Sends very big numbers. Betsy was playing really cool. She was playing Cracker Jacks. She got to finals, and yeah, just wasn't able to outperform Oldhim, but still awesome to see something like a hero like Betsy doing well and sitting at final table. Viserai times two. Chain's banned, so obviously Viserai would be the next best bet if you're not playing Briar. And Viserai still operates very much so like Chain, and sends tons of damage. But you being able to keep your deck fat through No Rune and just preventative effects through your Earth cards, you really don't have a struggle. And Miller's Grindstone is just atrocious for them. And then Briar, I did end up getting, but this probably wasn't the most like cracked list. I do enjoy it list. It's a buddy of mine. The list though, it's a buddy of mine. He was playing it's like the Moonwish package or something, and like there was turns he cracked off and was just like swinging 20. If I wasn't a guardian, I was dying for sure. So it was really interesting to see his build. I'm gonna have to get the card names, but it was like Sun and Moon something as a combo with those cards. It was really cool. Really cool to see what like these old cards can do, and how people are utilizing some of the effects with the common and rare slots to gain more value throughout the game. But yeah, so this was my Oldhim list. I will have the deck list down below, and I appreciate you guys watching. Talk to you later.